Good morning, everyone. Can I please have a quick sound check? If you could please type a one in the chat box if you can hear me, and also if we could see the screen. Good morning, traders, and welcome to the pre-market game plan. My name is Anka Metcalf, and today is 7/29/2020. It is 9:13 a.m. Eastern Time, and let's start with the most important part of the day, economic releases. All right, so we did have the core trade balance today in the preliminary wholesale inventories that came in at 8:30. You can see that the reaction was moderately bullish getting into that release. We still have pending home sales that are coming in at 10 a.m. Eastern, and this is coinciding again with the first major reversal time into the market. Crude oil inventories at 10:30, and we have the FOMC statement at 2 p.m. Eastern, the federal fund rate, and the FOMC press conference. These are going to be the main event for this for today, and obviously for this week. Let's get into charts right now, but not before taking a quick glimpse at the earnings that we have had last night. So last night after the close, we had quite a few companies that have reported earnings, and those are AMD, which spiked over $70. We had Visa report earnings, eBay, Amgen. These are my top watches from this earnings last night, and they will make a hot list going into the rest of the week and going into next week. This morning, we had Shopify that reported earnings. We had Boeing that reported earnings, and also General Electric, amongst which two we do have positions in Boeing and General Electric. We did have Spotify also report earnings, GM reported earnings, and Six Flags, and these were the stocks that I had interest in. Now, remember that after the close today, so we are going to experience, I would say, quite a volatile day today. For day trading, I don't particularly like the FOMC days. I don't really like to trade FOMC days. And my focus is going to be definitely in the first hour versus the first 2 hours in the morning. And then I'm going to call it a day. I'm just going, excuse me. I'm just going to manage my swing trades, and that's pretty much it going into this meeting. Now, after FOMC, after the market closes, we will have Facebook, PayPal, Qualcomm that are going to report earnings. And tomorrow is going to be a huge day, huge day, because after the close tomorrow, we have the powerhouses that are reporting earnings, and that is Amazon, Apple, Google. They're all reporting after the market close. So fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a very interesting end to this week. All right, everyone. So let's get started with the market analysis for today, for Wednesday, 7/29/2020. We are starting the day off with a nice balance to the upside. So we're having the Dow printing some green. It's 36 points to the upside. We're having the S&P almost 10 points up. We have NASDAQ, which is about 63 points up. It's actually a little bit more advanced than the rest of the indices, 0.59% to the upside. And Russell, very nice progression to the upside. Gold we have rolled into the new contract, and we have oil that is still meandering. Don't forget about the oil inventory numbers. I typically do not take any day trades in oil, and it has not really been setting up according to my criteria for any kind of day trades. It's continuing to trade very sloppy. It's sideways. It doesn't have a strong directional bias, and that's why it's just levitating between support and resistance. With that being said, let's get right into charting for the trading session today. And I'm going to flip the screen, and please give me a heads up if you guys can see the screen in just about 3, 2, and 1. All right. You probably can see it. All right, so we're going to start with the mini Dow. So the mini Dow, I'm going to give you the whole projection on price. The weekly chart is sitting on the 50 SMA, which is pretty strong at this point. We have a confluence level onto the daily chart in the Dow, and it's sitting on the 200 simple moving average and also on the 20 simple moving average, and it makes it pretty strong. The velocity, however, is going to be over 570. So if we see it today over 560, 550, 570, that is where it's going to get its continuation pattern from. But until then, we will see if we can. We're still moderately bullish on the trading session today, but we're going to discuss that in a few seconds. So basically, it has a lot of support on the daily. Now, coming into this hourly chart that we have here, the overnight trading session set a new low, and we had a 4 bars to the downside. We had a rotation that took the price higher. And basically, since 3 a.m., we have been basing sideways. We have been trading sideways. What this means is that we can potentially have the same kind of price action going into FOMC. Typically, going into FOMC meetings, I would say 90% of the time, you're going to see that the indices are going to calm down, and we're not going to get any kind of price action that can be conducive for the upside or to the downside. Trading the FOMC meeting, day trading, and especially indices into the FOMC meeting is a gamble. So I do not trade FOMC meetings at all. If I am in swing trades, yes, I do take the swing trades, but I do not day trade futures indices into FOMC meeting. It is a gamble. I'm not a gamble, and I am not a liquidity provider. I refuse to be a liquidity provider for the market. So that is off the table. Also, notice that the London session has been very quiet and it has not been committing to the upside or to the downside. So this was the pressure that came into the Asian session, got the lift, and then we could be actually moderately bullish above if we see some kind of price reaction off of the numbers that are going to come out at 10 o'clock. And if those numbers are going to create the break over the 380 area, then we're going to be moderately bullish as we're grinding into a very narrow space all the way into the 450 to 450. I would say 445 to 450, possibly continuation into the 60. Like I said before, the continuation, the velocity that we may get will be coming in contingent on breaking this 600 level. So again, that is the 580, like I mentioned before, the 580, 560, 580, around that spot. So this is where we're going to be exclusively bullish on the trading pattern. So this is what we're going to look for today. But nonetheless, it's going to be a bullish above area as long as the price is going to try to grind a little bit to the upside. We're going to look for any kind of opportunity off the open. We're going to apply any of the strategies that we have for the open. And we're going to be ready to deploy them. All right, so the mini S&P totally sideways as well. They all had the little ramp that went into 1 o'clock all the way into 3 o'clock. This is the London session open, and you can see here that the index is basing, so pretty much same price action. We also have a moderately bullish above zone of 32.26. We definitely want to see it above this flat 200 simple moving average because this is going to create selling pressure. This is also all this area right here from 36 to 30 will represents an algo rich zone where we could get selling pressure to the upside. So the price needs to go really fast through these levels in order to eliminate those stalls at those points. But nonetheless, we will be moderately bullish on the trading pattern. Remember, we're still trading in a sideways pattern. So for the last 4 trading sessions, we have been sideways. In fact, you can see the sloppy trading environment, which is normal going into a FOMC meeting. So again, today, caution. I will be using half of the risk. So look at your account. Decide whether you're the 1% trader, the 2% trader, or the 3% trader. see what that amount is per trade, and then use half of that size, and then position size for it. You guys have it in the performance portfolio. We have the risk sheet right there, and you have the video, guys. So you have the video on how to position size as well. You received it with the welcome package. All right, so helping you as much as you can, as much as I can, because I don't want you guys to lose any kind of money. So position sizing is very important. Is what's going to make or break your account. Trust me when I tell you this. It's more important than the strategy itself. If you don't know how to position size, you're going to blow up your account super fast. Okay, especially trading the futures market. And these green levels right here will represent target levels in case we're going to get the lift to the upside. Again, today we're expecting very, very sideways price action, pretty much into this in sync with what we had yesterday into the trading session. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ's the more advanced index. And even a more advanced index, you know, it had a pullback in the overnight trading session, which coincided with the rest of the indices when they pulled back. But NASDAQ held the New York trading session low and popped over this, rotated very nicely, managed to trade into the first area of resistance, which actually is the 610 to 620. So it has about 10-point resistance band. It's obviously sideways. We have been sideways again for the last 4 days. So again, when we're having a sideways day, and not only sideways overnight, but when we're having a sequence of sideways days prior to this FOMC meeting, obviously, you know, there is something that a lot of traders are fearing, and that is the unexpected. So a lot of traders will be looking, at the market, and will get in on definite confirmation. So this is not the time, to jump in trades or to do anything aggressive. Not the FOMC environment. However, we do see a bullish above area into this 616 to 620 area, and we do have a little bit of space. I'm telling you, not too much, but a little bit of space for a progression higher into the 70 and 75, and then back into the 700. So it's going to be tough. Definitely is going to be a very tough warning, but we're ready to tackle that as well. So again, remember, if we are going to have right from the upper from 9:30 all the way into 10:30, if we're going to have a cluster, a setup, if we're going to have any kind of formation, we are going to take a trade. If the environment is choppy, we will not take a trade. So patience is going to be key. Remember, you have the patience, you have the money. You don't have the patience, you don't have the money. Okay, so there are very simple rules. All right, so this is for NASDAQ. Russell, again, Russell has picked up the pace a little bit. You can see that is more in sync with NASDAQ than the Dow and the mini S&P, but we're going to have to wait and see how the Dow is going to react into the open because of Boeing's earnings. Let's see if the price is going to get picked up, because any kind of pickup in Boeing will definitely bring buyers into the Dow, right? So Boeing represents the biggest component of the Dow, so definitely that is going to move it around. Now, Russell has been sideways for a very long time, and Russell has been sideways actually for, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 days. So for 10 or 11 days, we have been literally sideways with the big support level, the major support into the 1453, and the major resistance into the 1497. It's actually into the 1500 area. And the price has been meandering literally in between these spaces. Now, can we trade this? Ranges are my favorite things to trade, but when the price is definitely, reacting the way it is reacting in this range, and taking into consideration the FOMC meeting that we have on, I'm not very excited to trade any ranges. And I like to trade ranges, in confirmation. So in confirmation, that would be like, off of support, or on the breakout, depending on the size of the range, or on the retest of the range. So these are the three strategies that I deploy into ranges. And the parameters for this specific range does not enable us to use any of the strategies that we have to deploy on trading it the right way. We're seeing a little bit of more a price action reaction right now, and we're seeing that Russell is actually a little bit stronger. I will keep it on watch. I don't have a bullish above zone. I was also watching to see if the price can digest over this 50 SMA on the 4 hour, and that would be into the 76 to 78 to 79 area. I would like to see it trade a little bit above it. We're getting a bit of continuation here pattern. So we have the pullback, we have the rotation, and we're getting some nice sequence follow through off of this formation. But the bottom line is that smaller time frames are definitely need to line up a little bit better. They're very, very choppy. You can see here that literally there was absolutely nothing to do into the London session. Now we're getting a little bit of a little bit of a pop going into the pre-session. All right, just going to tap very quickly on GC here. GC, we have a brand new contract that we are trading in right now. We have rolled actually into the new contract. So this is what is going to be on our watch. So basically we're having a sideways range into this morning. However, we can take a look at this range. It's still very wild. If you're thinking about, if you have a smaller account size, definitely you could trade it with micros. That would be your best option. There are minis available for it as well. Half the size of the full size contract, and also full size contract for those of you that have bigger account sizes. But continues to be incredibly volatile. So it's trading into a $20 range. So just keep that in mind. It can potentially have a breakout over 1980. So 1980 can be a breakout, and the support zone 1960 for a further continuation higher into the, it actually has a target of 1991 and 1995 for today. All right, this is it for us. And thank you so much for joining us for the pre-market game plan. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we're going to continue to post all information about upcoming events. So let's get back to trading. So have a great day, YouTubers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new pre-market game plan. And we're ready to rock and roll in the trading room right now.